So for today, what we'll do for the session is we will look into a specific type of chart called seismogram. So it looks something like this. We'll look how to make this chart, and we'll also see one tip related to parameters in having multiple number formats. And yeah, those two are the tasks for today's session. First, let's take a look at the tip that we have for the parameter with multiple number formats. So let me explain what I mean by that by creating a simple visualization first. Let's say let me create category. So I'm just pulling sales for each subcategory, and we can actually do this. Okay, engagement and sales. Yeah, so I have a simple sales for split across for each subcategory across different regions, and let me just create a parameter saying choose metric, and let me keep it as a string and give me a list. So the reason that I'm creating this parameter is to be able to dynamically see the metric that that is representing the bar, either sales or profit or anything. So this technique is pretty old. Many of us know. So let me profit and profit ratio, discount, and let's say shipping days. I think that should be fine. So I have some 5 metrics over here. Let me click OK, and I think I have 2 metrics. Okay, this is the one created, and let me single value list. So I have all these parameters. Now I'll create a dynamic field. Thereby my view changes based on my parameter selection. And I'll write a simple case statement based on my parameters. When it is sales, it is sales, then give me some more sales. When it is profit, when it is profit ratio, then give me actually profit ratio. Profit ratio, it's a calculated field, it's already aggregated, thereby we are not using the sum etc. aggregation here. Whereas discount M, so I think that should be fine. Yes. Then I think I have to create a field for this particular one, and discount, let me just pull up the average discount, because discount is given for every product in our order. So since we are aggregating it as a category level, I need to do some aggregation here. Let me save this for the time being and come back. I need to create one metric for my shipping days. So create a calculated field. Days, just day diff, day difference on days from order date to my shipping date, and that should be the number of days in shipping, and I will use that over here. Then use, I would say maybe average, I think it should be good. Shipping days, and close it. Okay, and so my dynamic metric is done. I'll just replace my sales with this metric, and something we already know, as soon as I go across these metrics, my bar will keep on changing. But the tip that I'm talking about here is, if you notice, when I go across different metrics, right? So sales and profit, you can assume that we can have similar format here, like dollars or amount or currency, right? That should work fine for both of these. But when I come to profit ratio, it's showing something in there, not very user-friendly format. It would be better if I can represent here in a nice percentage format, and same goes with the discount also. It would be nice if I represent this in percentages. And for shipping days, I should neither go with percentage or the currency, but I should go with the actual number, whatever it is. So this is the tip that we are trying to achieve it, to be able to have, as I go across these different metric parameter values, I should be able to get custom formats. And how do we achieve that? So in order to achieve that, we need to create a few more calculated fields based on the parameter that we created. So let's go ahead and do that. So for each parameter value that we have, or the metric that we have included in the parameter, we need to create one individual calculated field, additional calculated field. So for sales, let me create sales value. Okay, and if choose again choose metric, my parameter is equal to sales, then just take sum of sales. Okay, else null, and close it. So it's a simple thing. What it's trying to do is, when this particular field will only contain sales value when my parameter is chosen to sales. Otherwise, for every other parameter value, it will just hold the null value. Let me actually, it just hold the null value. And let me, for the simplicity's sake, what I can do is I can replace here sum of sales with my dynamic metric, because my dynamic metric will hold when I select sales, dynamic metric will automatically turn into sum of sales, just because of the calculation that we wrote in the dynamic metric. So this will just make the calculation a little easier. Now all I have to do is I have to replicate this for all other parameter values. So let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that should be sufficient. And so profit, so this should be for profit, and this should be for profit ratio, this should be for discount, and should be this. Okay, now I've created my formula. All I have to do is I have to save them in a separate calculated field. So I'll just drag each one and name accordingly. So profit value, close it, and this should be my profit ratio value. So profit ratio value, and this should be my discount value. Field, and this should be my shipping days value. This value just remove all this, and this should be my sales value. So click OK. I have my sales, profit ratio, and discount value. So all my value fields are here. Now what I have to do is I have to select all my value fields that I've created, and first before doing that, I need to set the proper formatting which we would like for each of these metrics. For example, on discount value, I would prefer a format of percentage, right? So I can go for percentage with single decimal, and then for profit ratio, let's say I'll go with some other number format. Let's say I'll choose custom, and let me just give some custom. Okay, and let me drag some symbols over here. Make it
coverage వచ్చే
percentage, give that sign, and semicolon minus percentage. So for positive, whenever the profit ratio is positive, it will give me this format, and when it's negative, it will give me this format. So click OK. So I have set for profit ratio and discount. Now let me go ahead and select profit value and number format. Profit value, so let me keep it currency custom, and negative values, I think this should be fine. Decimal 0, click OK. And sales also do the same. Number format, actually we can go with currency standard. And then shipping days value. So for this one, let me go here and number custom. Let's keep one decimal, and this has suffix. That should. So I've set the format that I would require for on each of these metrics, and all I have to do now is select all the value fields, shipping days values, and put them on the label. Okay, now immediately you can see, since my shipping days is my metric is parameters on shipping days, I can see this particular format has applied, and I can see nice format on the shipping days. When I go to sales, I can see the standard currency with the 2 decimal places, and when I go to profit, again the format that I've set, and on the profit ratio I can see now the percentages that which I want, with the up and low triangle symbols. And on the discount, since I've just set the percentages, it's all been set. But if you notice one thing, that on either on this discount view or on the profit ratio, or you can see some of the, not all labels are visible, right? So even if I set the view to entire view, not all the labels are visible. For example, for this mark, the label is missing, and likewise for few other marks. So the way to deal with it is basically you have to go to label and click here. So the reason that's happening is since each of these metrics are on a separate line here, the label that is being showed on the visualization, it will be a little lengthy. So what's happening here is, though you will see a little blank space here, it's all occupied with null values. Thereby it's the mark the mark in the middle is unable to have place for its own label. So what you have to do is you just have to put all of these metrics on a single line. Thereby it will stack up horizontally but not vertically, giving place for all the in-between marks. So when I click OK, all the marks are visible. So yeah, this is how we can have custom number formats for parameter based dynamic views. So So any doubts on this particular tip?
Jagadish, just one question. The triangle symbols that we had, right, for the increase or the decrease.
Yes.
So the increase or decrease is relative to what? Is it from the previous region or?
No. So this is the increment is here. It from the sense point of view, it doesn't represent anything. It's just saying that, hey, in this particular region, it's not actually compared to anything. It's just since I have some positive and negative values, I thought it will be
Okay, positive and negative. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Just because.
Thanks.
Normally we would use them to show comparison between month over month or year over year, but here we are not doing this comparison. Just I wanted to show you some formatting techniques.
Right, got it. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Okay. So this is tip 1, and let me go to say yes.
It's a good one.
Go ahead, checking.
So see, when you I missed what exactly you did to get rid of the blanks, and you got the labels back, right? For some of the ones that were missing.
Okay. What happened? Yeah. So what happened is basically, if you see these value fields that we created, like discount value.
There are nulls.
Yeah, we have all nulls when other parameter is chosen. So what it will try to do is, since we have put all the 5 fields in the label, it will try to label all of them here,
Right.
one after another in the new line. And since it's occupying space that is allocated for the next mark also, the label for the next mark has been sacrificed because of this. And what we just did was, don't stack up vertically, but just stack up horizontally in a single line. So if I just expand this, everything is in just single line, one after another.
So it's not inserting blank line, right? It's just putting whatever. Null will take much lesser space, and it will not have it will not allocate a line for it.
No, it will. Yeah. So as of now, whatever the space we are. It's taking same for the null. What I'm just doing is, hey, you're taking space below it. I don't want you to take space below the number, but just go besides it. So however length that you want. Yeah.
Not inserting a line, right?
Right. Exactly.
Right,
yeah.
Got it. So for the up arrow and down arrow, is there a way for us to like color it, or is that asking too much?
Yeah, coloring we can do it. So I think that's definitely possible. And let me see how. I just have to write a calculated field saying that whenever it's my up arrow is showing up to have a certain value, and the down arrow is showing up to have a certain value, and if I use that in color, I should be able to color it.
Okay.
So for example, just for positive values it's up arrow and negative values down arrow. So based on that logic, I should be able to create a calculated fill, and that I should be able to put it in color. It should work.
The color will apply to the fill, right? Not to the arrow.
Actually, we can do it. The reason, let me. There should be a technique. I'm unable to recollect as of now, but it's possible.
And Jagdish, in number format currently you drop the black arrows, right? If you change the color of arrows there, will it reflect here as well?
So but what Chaitanya is talking about to have is dynamic color, right?
Yeah.
I think let's quickly try. What I'll do is
all it takes is if you're able to change the color of the font, then in that case all it takes is one more calculated field for us to be able to get up green, down red.
Right. Here, so I'm just trying to.
This one.
Okay.
The number currency.
Let me actually. I need to find a color. I think if we give color here, I'm not so sure. I need to find that the color triangle, but yeah, we can look into it and get back. But from what I know, it's definitely possible just by writing one additional calculated field, we can get these up and down triangles colored as well. Yeah.
Maybe you can cover that in the next session.
Sure. Yeah.
So the crux of presentation is that you can do the formatting at the calculated field level, right?
Right. For each field, we can specify whatever the format that we would require. Okay. So moving on to the next one. So before we get the to creation of seismogram, let's understand why is it needed in the first place. So let's say let me just pull order date, month of order date, and sales. Actually, close this here. Order date, month of order date, and sales. Okay, so if you see here, we have sales, sample sales from 2017 to 2020, and we can see some regular trend, right? For each year, there's a trend that goes up, down, down, up, and there's certain trend like a M type of curve for each year, and the values of sales being increasing each and every year. So this is something called cyclic data, not exactly, but similar to a cyclic data, where we see similar patterns from starting of the year to ending of the year. Okay, and now if you see in this line chart, okay, it's we can compare, hey, the sales in 2020 are comparatively higher with the sales in 2017, and we can make that that's clear. But the idea here is how to make it even how to help the end user understand that point very efficiently and very quickly. Okay, line chart, it's conveying the information, but it's not so efficient. If I change this to bar, it's slightly a little better. I can do some coloring or etc. To make it even more distinct for year over year, and that's also good. But now compare the same the information that we are trying to achieve. It's basically comparison of sales across year over year or month over month. Now look into seismogram chart. Okay, it's on the same. This particular chart is known to easily translate the information, okay, of the cyclical data, a comparison between cyclical data when the data has large variations. Okay, so supposedly like the ones that we are seeing right now. So if you see, this is the 2017 data and 2018 data, you can see the spikes are larger in 2020. Compared to 2017. So this particular chart is representing that information more cleanly and quickly. So that's what this particular chart is normally used for. Whenever you have a cyclic data with large variations, this could be a proper way to represent or convey those variations. So let's see how we can create this chart. So first, let me pull up my order date. It's a simple chart to create actually. Order date, and let me go at a month level. And so next thing is I need to create a couple of calculations. And let me call this one as sales plus 2. And my calculation field is just sales divided by 2. Okay. me just copy this. Sales divided by 2. That's my first calculation. For second calculation, similar calculation, but just the negative sign. Sales minus 2 and the sale minus of sales divided by 2. Now these are my two calculations, and let me plot this sales. Okay, and my let me make a dual axis chart with sales minus 2. Now you can see that we have the trend. All I have to do is let me I have a line chart now. But I need to get the reason that I divided sales by 2, sales by minus 2 is basically to get the value. So for example, where is this? Yeah. So in January 2017, my total sales are 14,200. So what I'm trying to do here is, hey, you are just 14,200 above on the positive side of the axis. Just I'll divide this by 2. So I'll have 1/2 on the negative side and 1/2 on the positive side. So thereby the center for all of these bars is on the 0 axis. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. So if you see here, the positive axis is 7,100 and negative axis is minus 7,000, and it's basically symmetrical on the 0 line. But I need to achieve the seismogram type of chart. So for that, what I have to do is I just have to adjust the path. So it's basically going from this point to this point as a path. I need to adjust. Hey, you should not go from here to here, but you should connect from this dot to this dot. So that I'll do by using the measure values in path. Okay, and let me so I've got connected, but something has to be done here.
And Jagdish, what about dropping measure names?
Measure names, yeah. No, I think there should be one more step over here. Let me actually do. Yeah, understood. So the step that we are trying to miss here is it's trying to connect. Okay, let me actually solve this and then what I need to do is I need to give the information of I'm trying to plot these 2 points, the points on the positive side and the negative side, only for each month. I don't want all the months to be plotted together, but I want each mark. So as of now, what it has done is, if you see here, it has plotted one line for each and every month value that we see. Each and every months across years that we see here. But what we need to tell the Tableau is, hey, I want you to only consider the points in 1 month as your target, and then you need to start a new line for each month. So for that, you need to give the information of order month year information. So for that, you need to just pull this and put the month year, and now it's plotting. So okay, for every month year itself, I'll create the top two, I'll connect these two lines. So let me drop this color, and I can add some more adjustments on the top of this to make the variations a little more clear. So for example, I can highlight minimum or maximum by writing some calculations. So if sum of sales is equal to window max of sum of sales. So it's basically trying to check the sales value in the chart with the max, if it's maximum or not. Then give me max. Okay. Do this. I'll see. Now sales is equal to, if it's minimum, then just give me minimum. Else just other values and close this and click OK. And min max, I'll just drag this into color. Now you can only see maximum value, and everything is, it's being considered as maximum value just because we have used window function, which is a table calculation function. We need to set the scope for the table calculation, just like how we calculated the paths for each month. We need to set the scope of the table calculation also for each month and year. Okay, and yeah, and then I can see some color. Let me edit some colors here. Edit colors. For maximum, I'll put this. Minimum, within this should be fine. Other, let's go with this. And you can see the maximum value, the month with this maximum sales. The longest line is blue in color, and the minimum sales, the shortest line, is minimum orange in color, and everything else is light gray color. So yeah, so this is how we can create and we can adjust the size accordingly to make it a little more, and do some more formatting to make it a little more attractive. So yeah, this is how we can create a seismogram chart. Any questions on this? Okay, I think yeah, that's it I have for today.